Creative Conversions, your local audio video specialist. Wanted to talk to you a little bit about the TV buying experience. We're going to cover a couple of different quick topics here, and the first one I'd like to discuss is price. When the consumer goes out and realizes it's time to get that new TV, the first thing they tend to think is that the specialist dealer is more expensive than your box store suppliers or the internet. And in many cases this is actually true, because not all specialist dealers are factory direct with their video suppliers. So what we want to clear up first of all is that we are factory direct Sony dealers, and therefore we are presenting the exact same price that's going to show up in the box store or on the authorized internet dealer site. So with that in mind, what we really want to talk about more today is actually the buying experience itself, how to make a good judgment call on the television that's actually going to end up in your home. On the internet, that's pretty straightforward. That's going to be a sight unseen purchase process in which someone's going to solely trust in those reviews and not always being able to confirm exactly the source of those reviews. We understand, the concept behind it, but we don't agree with the fact that the customer doesn't actually see the picture processing, the picture value across the different signal rates. It's a sight unseen type purchase. Meanwhile, we have the second option, which is the box store. Here we're seeing customers go into these stores and look at a lot of different televisions being presented with what's being done as a 4K HDR computer generated image. Okay, now for those out there that aren't completely familiar with HDR yet, that's high dynamic resolution. And high dynamic resolution presents a 30 to 40% increase in color saturation and depth. The second thing it does is a 30-40% expansion in those colors so that you're seeing more colors. You're seeing more red, blue, green, all the colors in the spectrum. So whenever we see 4K with HDR, it is a picture that pops more, it is more brilliant, okay? And a lot of people find it very, very attractive, and they should, because this is now going to be the future of television. However, it is the future, it is not current, and most people are going home spending 90% of their time with 1080 resolution content, followed by some 4K and some 4K HDR. Now currently, there are a couple of hundred or more Blu-rays that are in 4K HDR, and we're seeing that grow. Meanwhile, Vudu, Amazon, Netflix are all working on 4K HDR to be presented in streaming formats, and some are doing it already. So, the big issue though is what we believe is that the customer should get the tour based on good, better, and best throughout the gamut of the different formats that they'll be watching in their home. And we certainly want to start out in that area where we know 90% of the television viewing is being done. It's being done at that 1080 signal, not at the top end of the spectrum in a flagship HDR 4K, certainly computer generated. Okay, so the goal is to have the consumer come in, decide their size, start looking at good, better, and best options, and then from there, look at all those different signal rates. Be completely aware of what the television is going to do before it makes it to your home. We believe that is ultimately the best way to make a decision. Meanwhile, we field a great many phone calls from consumers that are calling us these days, asking us after they've bought the television if we have any idea why that product doesn't look the same as when they saw it in the store. Hence, this is why we're seeing a lot more of the open box sale now at the big box stores. The consumer gets it home, they've seen an unrealistic picture, they get it in the house, and they start watching their day-to-day stuff, and all of a sudden the TV doesn't look nearly as brilliant as it did in the store. This is causing a lot of confusion in the marketplace, ultimately frustrating clients and leading to returns in open box TV sales. We just don't believe this is the best way to buy a television. It only makes sense to us, even though a lot of people think we're a little old school, is to start in that arena with just simple quality of picture based on a good, better, and best viewing experience, based also on those signal rates that you're going to look at in your home. After all, doesn't it make sense that you already know what you're getting before it ends up above your fireplace or anywhere else in your home? We believe this is accurate, and we found it to be the best way to buy a television. So we're hoping that the next time that you entertain upgrading your television, that you will take a moment to give us a call, stop by the store, take the Realistics tour without any pressure to buy a particular product, just simply a better tour. And whether you decide to have it professionally installed or take it home yourself, you're still going to get better information on how things should be set up in that menu so that you're getting all of what this TV has to offer. So please take a minute, give us a call, stop by the showroom. We'd love to speak to you, and hopefully we can provide you with a better tour to buying your next television. Thanks for listening. Have a good day.